If you're an entrepreneur, you've got to hear this. I've been on both sides of LLC piercing cases for nearly 20 years. I've defended businesses when someone tried to break their LLC protection, and I've successfully pierced LLCs when they weren't properly maintained. And here's what most lawyers won't tell you. Filing an LLC doesn't protect you. Compliance protects you. See, everyone tells entrepreneurs that forming an LLC is some sort of magic shield, right? Filing the paperwork, paid a fee, you're protected, use LegalZoom, use whatever. That's complete nonsense. In nearly 2 decades of practice, I've seen thousands of cases where we, as lawyers in litigation, can allege piercing the corporate veil with a good faith basis. So here's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to show you exactly how a successful litigation attorney would break LLC protection in court, step by step, so you can reverse engineer that and make sure your LLC actually holds up in case anyone ever tries to sue you. And you'll understand why compliance is everything. You'll understand how alter ego claims really work, and most importantly, how to make sure your LLC can survive someone like me or what I used to be coming after it. So let's jump right in. Let's say you're my target in a lawsuit. You've got an LLC. You think filing that paperwork protected you? And I want to get to your personal assets, right? Because that's where the money is. So here's how I'm going to do it. Step 1, in the complaint that I file, right? First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna allege that you are the alter ego of your LLC, and that's pretty common, and all I need is a good faith basis. So what does that mean? It means your LLC isn't actually a separate entity from you. It's just a name change. You're not operating it like a real business. You're operating in it like a personal checking account, right? With a fancy label. Just because it's called LLC doesn't really mean it is. And here's the key. After nearly 20 years and thousands of cases I've seen, I know I don't need to prove it yet. I just need what's called a good faith basis to claim that you violated the factors that the courts look at, and I know that really well. You've undercapitalized your company, you're commingling funds, you're not following corporate formalities, right? Who does, right? And you failed to file required documents, you probably have. That's not a high bar to clear. And once I make that allegation, I can unleash what's called a discovery tsunami. This is my bread and butter. I've perfected this process over thousands of cases. I love discovery. That's when you get to learn everything. I can speed up your bank records, your business and personal records. I want your company records, your tax returns, your QuickBooks, your Stripe accounts, some of the stuff you've texted, your emails, everything. Personal and business. Then I get to do something most lawyers don't have the patience for. I used to go through every single expenditure, line by line, transaction by transaction, thinking, is this a personal or business payment? Can you justify it? Most business owners have no idea what's coming when I start this process. And when you're in a deposition, that means you have to testify under oath and you can't escape. You have to explain all your expenses to me. Who are they from? Where did they go? What they were for? And your lawyer, who is pretty expensive, who's sitting next to you, can't stop me from asking these questions, right? Your lawyer will try to fight discovery and waste your money too. They'll object, fishing expedition, overly broad, harassment, irrelevant, whatever it is, but they can't stop me. And here's what I've learned after 20 years. Once I've alleged alter ego using a good faith basis, judges let me in. They want to also see if your LLC is legitimate. They want to see if there's fraud under there. They're curious as well. So now your entire financial life is open for inspection. Every decision you've made, every dollar, every shortcut you took. I'm looking at it and I'm getting excited. And here's the next step, right? When I find your compliance failures, and I will, and I always have, right? After I've gathered this evidence and discovery and I build the case, this is where my compliance is protection philosophy proves itself. And this is why I created my system. Because if you've been sloppy, and nearly all entrepreneurs are, I'm going to find it. You paid personal expenses from business accounts, right? You never capitalized the LLC properly. You made major decisions but never documented them. Where's the minutes? Where are the resolutions? You haven't filed annual reports in maybe 3 years, right? You don't have an operating agreement, or it's deficient, or you have one, but you've never followed it, right? You don't have minutes, resolutions, anything separated from your personal account. You've got multiple businesses sharing the same address, sharing the same phone number, sharing the same supplies, sharing the same staff. You get me? You're probably doing this stuff. This isn't intentional fraud, right? Most business owners aren't trying to deceive anyone, but courts don't care about what your intent is when it comes to these factors. They care about whether you've treated your LLC like a real business entity, or is it just an alter ego and a shell of your personal life? And after thousands of these cases that I've seen, I can tell you, most people have big problems in their LLC. And now we're finally in front of the judge, right? After thousands of dollars and a couple of years of litigation, I'm making my argument to pierce the veil, and I'm basing it on the factors that the courts actually examine. And I know these very well. I've argued them a bunch of times, right? I got all the evidence that I collected over the years, nice and packaged up for the court. I know how to present it the way the judge likes it. Your Honor, this defendant has failed to maintain corporate formalities. They've commingled personal and business funds. They've undercapitalized their entity, and you know what, Judge? They've ignored their filing requirements. They're spit in the face of the LLC statute. They've made decisions without documentation. This isn't a legitimate business entity. This, and here's the smoking gun, is an alter ego designed to shield the entrepreneur from personal liability. And this judge is getting excited, right? Because I'm gonna prove these factors quickly, and I'm going to use the discovery process. So I'm going to give them what they want, make sure I do it quickly, clearly, before lunch, because I know the judges like that. I worked for a judge for a year and I've appeared before many of them. And now you start to see that your LLC protection disappears. You're now personally liable for every dollar of that judgment. Your house, your savings, your retirement, your accounts, it's all fair game. That's what makes this so dangerous. You never want to be there, because if there's fraud involved, and there usually is, whether you intended it or not, you can't discharge that debt in bankruptcy. It's personal, it sticks with you. So here's what I've learned from being on both sides of these cases for nearly 20 years that you really need to digest. I'd rather lose these cases, right? Because when I lose, it means that someone is doing business the right way. And the right way isn't about just filing the LLC. It's about compliance, real capitalization. Put actual money into your LLC, not just $100, right? Courts look at whether your capitalization was reasonable for the business you're conducting. And I haven't seen many reasonable capitalizations. Have a clean separation, right? Business money stays in business accounts, personal money stays personal. No exceptions, try to document it. No emergencies, no just this once, because it's never just once. Corporate formalities, they're important. Real meetings, real resolutions, real documentation. Even if it's just one member LLC, treat your LLC like the separate legal entity it really is, or the law won't. Filing, compliance, right? File your annual reports, register agents, state requires. Make sure every year you're on time. There's no excuses, because when someone like me comes after a properly maintained LLC, I'm gonna have to dismiss that claim. I don't have a good faith basis anymore, right? You gave me clean records, compliant records, your capitalization was reasonable. I saw your bank accounts, your formalities are documented, your filings are current. If I don't dismiss this claim now, I look like the bad guy to the judge, so I'm gonna dismiss it. I look at all of this for thousands of cases, and I've got nothing on you. Got no commingling. I've got no undercapitalization. You're not missing formalities. So that's when I know I'm going to lose that claim. So here's the bottom line. I can tell you that the difference between LLCs that survive attacks and LLCs that crumble, it's not luck. It's understanding that filing an LLC is just the beginning. Compliance is what actually protects you. And that's the point of these videos, right? Is to teach you from the mistakes of others, because I've seen so many mistakes as a 20-year lawyer. So now you understand how a seasoned attorney would break your LLC in court. You really need to understand how to legally bulletproof your social proof to make sure that your offers are not considered fraudulent. And that's the next video that I'm recommending. Click on the link below. I'm the battle-tested lawyer. Get legally bulletproof, and I'll see you there. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, but if you're sick of guessing whether your business is exposed to legal threats you can't see or didn't know was coming, those enemies, mistakes, and liability that cause entrepreneurs to lose, then I've got something very special for you. It's my free business risk report, the same kind of analysis I charge $7,500 for in person when I do my business defense legal mastermind. Click the link below. Answer some strategic questions about your business and get a personalized risk report. You've got nothing to lose. Find out what's hunting you and your business before it destroys everything you've built. I'm Karam, the battle-tested lawyer. Stay legally bulletproof, please.